Hello and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. I'm Kim and today we are going to plant some seeds and set it to the side so we can have replacement plants for some of the summer vegetables. So let me show you why we need to do that. Now this isn't a garden tour, but as you can see in the garden here, my red onion are starting to flop over. And once the stems flop over, that means that they're almost ready to harvest. Like I could harvest any time now on quite a few of these red onion. Now, once I harvest these red onion, I have to put something else in this space. Here's another area in the garden that I'm going to do a little differently now that we're moving into the warmer months. The broccoli in this space here is super tall, this particular variety. And then I have a variety that's lower to the ground, just a little more than 12 inches, where these are almost 2 feet tall. With the broccoli being so tall in this space here, it's actually shading out in this space here some of my tomatoes. Now this is Walthram's broccoli and it did okay. I got a few side shoots and I'm still getting a few side shoots, but I'm not getting as many side shoots off of this broccoli. So I believe this space could be utilized better with something else. So I will keep the broccoli in here for now, but once my transplants are ready, I'm going to cut the broccoli back and I'm going to replace it with some of those transplants. Here's another area in the garden that has some of my cool season crops in it, and these will be harvested very soon. This is some of my cauliflower, and I have 3 heads here that are doing really well. And I am only at most a week or 2 out from harvesting some of this. And once I harvest those cool season crops, I'm going to need to replace it with something else. You have to keep the harvest going. This is another space that I need to get transplants ready for. Now I'm talking about putting something in this space, but I have nothing started to go into this space. And one of the things that I like to do with my summer vegetables, as I start pulling out the cool season crops, I like to add more summer vegetables. So I like to have things ready to go. Having an extra transplant of lettuce or squash or cucumbers ready to go, just in case you have issues with what you already have in the ground. And that's the focus today. So we're going to get those started. So let me share with you the seeds that I'm going to start today so I'm ready for the second round or emergency plants if needed. Okay, I shared with you the areas that I have plants that are going to be coming out really soon, and I need to be ready to put something in that spot so I can get another harvest out of that space. And so if I put seeds in that space, absolutely, I still have time to get a harvest on pretty much most vegetables. But if I put a transplant in, not only can I get a harvest on those vegetables, but maybe get a third harvest in that space, depending on what I'm growing. But I have a better chance of a faster harvest if I put transplants in. So I'm going to share with you the seeds that I'm going to start now as backups, replacement plants, and second round harvest for certain vegetables. Now, this isn't me sowing now for fall planting. That'll be a separate video. I won't do that until after the beginning of July. And today is June 25th. So I'm just a couple of weeks out for that. But this one is all about more summer plants and replacement plants for the summer garden. So some of the things that I will be doing, let's start with the cucumbers. Always having cucumbers ready to go because you never know if one of your plants get diseased, sickly, you need to pull it out. It'll be great if you have another one ready to go in because you can still get another harvest. And so there are 3 cucumbers that I'm going to start now from seed to have them growing just in case I need them. Now, I have cucumbers all over the place. I have multiple places in my garden. I have cucumbers in my GreenStalk. I have cucumbers in my neighbor's garden. But what if, right? What if something happens and I need to pull one of those plants out? I need to have a backup plan. So I will be doing Suyo Long. Starting that one today is one of my favorites as well. This one is it doesn't say how long it takes to germinate or to when it's ready to go. But, you know, you can pick cucumbers at any size. But Suyo Long is one. This Wisconsin cucumber. Now, I've already picked one out the garden and it was absolutely delicious. It's a pickling cucumber. It has a sweetness to it, and there was only one, and my family and I were fighting over it, but I won. The rest of them will be ready in about a week, and so I'm starting to harvest the cucumbers. Now, this one says that days to maturity is only 50 to 60 days. But if I am, and that's from seed, like from seed. But if I put a nice size transplant in there, then I'm probably looking at more like 30 days. So, Wisconsin, I'm also going to do the national pickling cucumber. And at the end of the day, the pickling style cucumber is the ones I prefer over regular slicers because not only can I use it in my salads, but I can use it to make pickles and other types of preserved cucumbers. And for this one, it says, does it say? It doesn't say how long to harvest. It doesn't say. But again, cucumbers you can pick at any stage. So those are the only 3 cucumbers that I'm going to have setting ready to go. I have a longer slicing type cucumber and 2 pickling type cucumbers set aside just in case. The next things that I'm going to start now are going to be some squash. And I have squash in some containers and I have squash in my neighbor's garden. But what I don't have a lot of is yellow summer squash. So I will be planting some additional, starting some seeds, I should say, for some yellow summer crookneck. And the only place I have crookneck right now in the garden is in my GreenStalk. And that's fine, but this is one of the squashes I don't mind cutting up and freezing and eating it all winter long. So you can't have too much of that. I'm also going to do the golden zucchini. And I believe I only have one plant in my garden of this right now as well. So we're going to put that one, get it started. Cocozella, however you say that, I'm going to mess it up. But I've already harvested some of this particular squash and it was delicious. We stir fried it. Delicious. And I have, I believe, 2 plants between the 2 gardens. And then the next 2 type is a white scallop. And then there's a green scallop style that I'm going to start as well. The green one is called G-Star F1. It's a patty pan. I don't have a picture of this one, but it's just like this one, but green. The next couple of things that I'm going to start, and when I say I'm starting, I'm like literally starting like 1, 2, 3 cells. That's it. I want to do the same thing with some of my lettuce. I went out of town, I came back and my lettuce had bolted. I've planted new lettuce in my GreenStalk. It's really a little warm for lettuce, but I'm going to start some just in case I need to replant some because it bolts or it goes to seeds, or let's just say I found a home in the garden that's got a little shade. I'll throw a lettuce plant in there as well. So there's 4 different lettuce plants I'm going to start as well today. I'm going to start a butter crunch. a little gem, a Hanson improved crisp head lettuce, so like an iceberg lettuce, and one that's becoming my new favorite, just to be honest with you. And I didn't even purchase these. These were free seeds, Merlot. And that's it for now. But, as the season go on, I'll plant some different lettuce and just keep it going. I want to make sure I got something on deck for replacement plants, next rounds. If there is an empty spot anywhere in my garden, in my green stalks, or my neighbor's garden, that means I'm not on the ball. I'm falling behind. I'm off track. So we will get these started in the cells. I'm just going to follow the directions right on the pack that tells me how deep to plant it. I have some compost and soil here ready to go, and I will put it in these containers. We will get it set up, and then I'll bring you back here. So I'm trying to improve the quality of my soil here. So typically I use a seed starting mix, but I'm now just using whatever I have available to me. Now I really shouldn't have leaves in here, but trying to get this done quickly. There's a storm a brewing, and I need to get these started because I am late. These should have already been started, but you have to make do with the time you have. So this soil came out of one of my potato containers, and I've added compost to it to put some nutrition back into this soil. Not that these seedlings need it, but I'm just reusing what I have. If you've watched any of my seed starting videos, I go into a lot more detail of how to start your young seedlings indoors, waiting for preparing for the upcoming season. Now, I'm not following my own instructions on some of what I'm doing here because I'm just trying to quickly get this done before the storm gets here. This container done had it. I'm going to use it anyway. Now, I'm not trying to do a whole bunch of up potting or anything like that. So I need to make sure that my these are not too thickly sown. I mean, if I have to up pot, I will. I don't really want to, but I will. I have all of the lettuces already covered, I believe. If not, I'll come back and cover them later. I think they're already covered. I went ahead and added one more cucumber, which was the White Wonder. And I'm not getting great germination with the White Wonder this year. So if I can get them to come up this way, I can transplant those in. So I've started National Pickling, Wisconsin SMR, Suyo Long, and White Wonder there. My lettuces, I got the Merlot. I have the Butter Crunch, I have 6 cells of Butter Crunch, and I have 4 cells of the Little Gem, and then 2 more Merlot, 2 more crisp head like iceberg lettuce, and I have some more iceberg over here, and then all of the different squashes that I talked about earlier. Let me add just a little more soil over those lettuces because I did not cover the lettuce. I just remembered. And all I have left to do is just to water everything in and you water it in just like you would if you were starting your early seedlings for the year. I am going to water these from the top today just because the seedlings haven't come up. And typically I would water these from the bottom. I'll sit them down in water and water them. I want these to germinate and slowly come up. So what I'm going to do is keep these seeds on the front porch here of my she shed. It gets morning sun, but it doesn't get any of that super hot sun after noon. So by the time 12 o'clock hits, this whole area is in the shade. So we will germinate it right here on the porch of my she shed. And these will be ready to go if they're needed. Thank you for joining me as I'm talking about second round vegetables and emergency vegetables if you need them. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and I hope to see you back here again real soon. Thank you. Bye.